What's up, family? Welcome back to the show. There's a lot of qualities needed to be successful. Added to that list of qualities, you need a bunch of skills in your respective domain. And you have to be real about those skills. No matter how hard I try, and I hate to admit this to myself, but I probably will never be the best basketball player. I probably won't be able to beat Michael Jordan or most likely even the worst bench player. Who am I to go up against Michael Jordan? My ego wants to deny this, but shh, child. I have to have some awareness of my unique skills. If you truly want to keep it real and maximize your strengths and your unique contribution, you can't measure it against someone else's domain. It has to come from finding and creating your own lane. Whatever it is you decide ultimately to pursue, the one foundational quality that must supersede them all, and I wouldn't even call it a quality, the one commitment you must make despite all is to be indisputable, to be undeniable, to be unquestionable beyond doubt that you are the one to look to for when that particular thing comes up. This is the bottom line quality for success. Every other part of your recipe rests on this commitment as a base. How committed you are determines how strong your base, how deep your roots, and then determines how much it can be built up to the sky. This determines the ceiling of your expansion. This is the umbrella it all sits under. When you show up in the world with ungodly commitment to be undeniable, in your realm, you can't be ignored. It isn't usually who you know, but who knows you. And apathy isn't a fate you want to suffer. If you live your life in a way where you take on full commitment to carry out what you do to excellence, there is no one who won't know you. The cream always rises to the top. You just have to decide your makeup will be different than everything else around you, and you will automatically stand in separation. You will automatically elevate. And I'm not saying you have to be a pro basketball player, a celebrity, or climbing a tall mountain that warrants an audience cheering you on. It's not about doing certain things, it's about doing things a certain way. There's a lady who works in Shirley, Long Island, who sells more coffee from a single 7-Eleven than any other store nationwide. She was crowned the coffee queen. Shirley is not a huge town. It's in the boondocks of Long Island. It isn't a busy metro area that has ample opportunity to beat her numbers. But they don't beat her because she is indisputable in her ability to provide service and care for her customers. Her personal bond with people keeps them coming back that very few other stores have been able to match. There's a guy who works in a drive-thru that puts on a movie voice. When you do more than what you're paid to do, eventually you'll be paid more than what you do. It is noticed. Someone can be the best dishwasher or the best person mopping the floor at Burger King. If it's done with pride, the work speaks for itself. Choosing to be undeniable is a mental shift. It isn't about how glorious what you're doing is. It's about how you do it gloriously. It's to say you expect no less than the best from yourself. And not from a deluded state of telling yourself, oh, I do it the best. No. When you really don't do it the best, don't lie to yourself. No one ends up knowing the delusional people. No, you actually do it the best. With pride, it will be recognized. But it has to be recognizable that you are doing it the best. And it will be recognized. But you don't do it for the recognition. That shallow pursuit of recognition doesn't push anyone to be the best at anything. It is your internal commitment to yourself to accept no less than excellence. It's that internal scorecard we've spoken about. At the end of the day, the recognition doesn't matter to the undeniable. It comes as a natural byproduct of doing things a certain way. No matter if it's recognized, the boos don't stop the dunks. No matter how you are or if you are recognized, the numbers don't lie. The effort doesn't lie. The results that show up don't lie. And no one can get in your way when you are that good. They can't stop you. And no one is required to help you or recognize you to the next level. You create it with that commitment to excellence. Your destiny is in your hands in the commitment that you've made to yourself. Your undeniability transcends all recognition. Your overflow of constant giving of the best tilts the balance of the world towards a net positive. You have the power to do that. And trust me, that tilted balance of positive makes its way back to you tenfold. And although you can take this spirit into anything you do, and you probably should, the best route to success would be to marry this commitment with your strengths, with your inclinations. What skills you have most developed. Again, we'd be best off setting some goals, doing some feedback analysis over the course of a year. Hey, let's put something that we think is our strengths and we're going to try to pursue it, and come back at the end of the year and measure ourselves and do some feedback analysis, maybe even a few years, and understanding our strengths enough to know what we can be ultimately undeniable at in this world. Sure, you think you have a lot of choices and you think you can do anything, especially nowadays when we have limitless career options and creative avenues to success. Maybe I should be a TikTok star. Maybe I should be an influencer. Maybe I should have a podcast. Maybe I should start a business. Maybe I should drop ship. Oh, I think I can draw a bit. Let me draw. Oh, I can sing a bit. Let me sing. Oh, I can play an instrument. Let me pursue that. But realistically, if you asked yourself, what are you the top 5% in the world at? Is your bathroom singing noteworthy? Do you believe in your artistic pursuit enough to stick to it through the difficult times? Chances are you will find that you have one or two things that are so uniquely your top contribution that the path to becoming indisputable would come easiest through further developing that path to your top contribution. It's less friction to go from great to best than from average to great. Your indisputable inclination can be found deliberately by following your efforts. Don't follow your passions, follow your efforts. What have you spent the most time developing? What do you have the highest inclination to carry out with excellence and consistency? And that is what you should take further into this undeniable territory. Claim that territory. The problem I find is that most people wait for something to prove it's worth their time before approaching it with this commitment of excellence. Oh, once this thing becomes worth my time, then I will start putting in my all. Once this new business venture shows that it's worth something, then I'll think bigger about it and treat it seriously and have structure and create a culture for my team. And it's a failed presumption. It is your commitment to excellence that proves the thing will be worth your time. You only get out of it the level you put into it. But you want it to prove something to you, to encourage you to bring a better, more serious, committed self to it. And you probably miss out on true assessment of those things and the potential of it, because it meets you as half-heartedly as you meet it. Again, all results are consequential to this one mode of being, this excellence. How you do anything is how you do everything. It is the umbrella that you bring to everything. Everything sits under it. And before anyone discounts Like this is not meant for you because you weren't born or gifted excellence. I want to remind you that this is a habit, something that you can develop. It isn't something that's elusive or a naturally given talent. It's a disposition, a chosen stance. And a choice implies full consciousness. So you might not actually realize that there is a choice being made when you choose the opposite. When you choose to show up as average, you might not realize that there's a choice being made. So I'm first here to wake you up and remind you that you set the temperature of how hot you make it when you show up. It's up to you to decide to light them up. Up to you to scorch them with your heat and passion that you bring. And the alternative that you're not recognizing is a choice being made, the life that you're familiar with. What if you keep going down this road of average without deciding to be undeniable? You will die by faint praise. You will be good enough, but not memorable. I heard a story of someone talking about their father and how they were a colonel in the army. And he was asked, did he ever become a general? And his answer was no. He died by faint praise. The generals who sat around and decided amongst them who is most deserving to become the next general didn't have bad things to say about his father. When asked, oh, what do you think about this person? Oh, he's a pretty good guy. He's a pretty nice guy. But they didn't say he's the greatest guy ever. An opportunity missed him. We don't fully miss opportunities. You are passed by for just being pretty good. No one promotes pretty good. It isn't overt mishaps that keep you from opportunities. It is just being lukewarm and not outstanding. You only inspire faint praise, and you die by it. My friend is an online teacher, and if you read through any of her 3,000 plus reviews, you wouldn't get a sense that she's just an adequate teacher who's able to do her job well. No, there are passionate, heartfelt messages left by parents who almost scream with enthusiasm about her and about her intimate connection with each of their children and what a positive effect she has on them. She has won an undeniable place in the hearts of thousands of households. How is the universe not going to provide a place for this excellence? The opportunities stack when you show up this way day in and day out. The providence moves. Opportunities come to the prepared. They move on to the more prepared if it meets you and you aren't prepared. We only get a few big opportunities in life. What disposition you have assumed, what shape you are in will determine whether you seize them or not. They say people aren't geniuses. They have geniuses. They have geniuses all around them that come to them with ideas and plans. This is how multiple discoveries happen. We may share geniuses because the geniuses pursue different portals for their ideas and plans to be realized. And sometimes these geniuses meet you with your idea and you aren't quite ready to honor that genius and carry out its magic. And if you aren't its undeniable transporter, it goes on to the next person. Your genius is only realized when you, with your firm commitment to excellence, to be indisputable, to be undeniable, meet your genius with that level of preparedness. Then you and your genius conspire to co-create, and magic happens. This magic starts in the dark, with what standards you have set for yourself when no one is watching. You are what you do when no one is watching. I heard earlier to imagine if you were being watched 24 hours a day by your kids or someone you love. What story would they tell about you? Would they say, oh, my dad was really like that when he was around me or when he was by himself. He did what he said he was doing. He didn't waste time when he was supposed to be working. He wasn't lying when it was easy. An undeniable man is undeniable in the dark, as much as he is when a light is shined on him. He reaches for excellence for himself. His greatness is not waiting for you to bear witness to it. What is undeniable about you is still undeniable in the dark. When I'm upset at someone or fail to see something positive about them because of this strong negative emotion, I often break that negative emotion by trying to remember something undeniable about them that even my worst possible anger and disgust could not deny. Something that, regardless of how blinded I am in the emotion of the time, I could honor and see that undeniability. Oh, she is undeniably caring for her kids. Oh, he is undeniably a teller of truth regardless of how hard it is. Oh, they all undeniably want what's best for each other despite the sacrifice it requires. No matter what, I never have to question his intentions. No matter what, I can trust she would never do that. Our goal in life should be to have more and more parts of us that deserve undeniable recognition and can never come under question and will fail any measure of scrutiny. Ultimately, to be in such a way that when someone speaks poorly of us, no one would believe it. See what life denies you then. You are undeniable. A couple questions. What is one thing that you recognize about yourself that is undeniable? Think of something in someone else who you are probably not in the best of terms with right now. What is something of excellence that is undeniable about them? Pick one thing, one of your commitments, grounded by your skills, over the next week, and practice total commitment to excellence in it, even when no one is watching. See what it feels like. What is that one thing you will choose to start becoming undeniable in over the course of the next week to a month? And what are you good enough in right now and can take to great? How will you make sure you don't die by faint praise? Are you ready to meet your geniuses? Will they find you prepared? I love you, family. See you on the next one.